Shalom, everyone. Rabbi Derek here, Beth Messiah Synagogue. We're counting the Omer still from Passover to Shavuot, 49 days. Today is Omer day 18, which is 1 week and 4 days. Is that right? 2 weeks. I've been writing 1 week, and I've been saying 1 week every day this week. It's 2 weeks and 4 days. 2 weeks and 4 days of the Omer, day 18. Goodness gracious. That's the one thing about live streaming. No one's here to tell me I'm doing something wrong. Omer day 18, 2 weeks and 4 days. And we are counting through, remembering and counting, as the Lord says, 49 days, 7 whole weeks from Passover to the Feast of Weeks, Shavuot, or Pentecost. I want to draw your attention today to Matthew chapter 10, verse 1. It says, Yeshua called his 12 disciples to him and gave them authority to drive out impure spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. Now, it goes on to explain the disciples' experience with that authority. But, you know, Yeshua's authority here, the fact that he was able to tell his disciples that they now had the power, like he had, to drive out impure spirits and to heal every disease and sickness, the fact that they could then go and do it is proof of his authority, Yeshua's godly authority. It's proof of his divinity, the fact that he actually was God in the flesh. Proof of his authenticity, that he was and is who he says he is. So he told the disciples that they could go do it, and they did it. It's proof. So the question that we can ask ourselves and talk to the Lord about, what has Yeshua given you authority to do or given you authority to be that you may not be taking advantage of, right? It's healthy for us in our walk with the Lord to always be evaluating, not constantly looking for things that I'm doing wrong, but just examining my heart, because that's what Yeshua calls us to do, right? He wants to draw up the things of our heart so that he can heal them and fortify them. So the question is, what has he given you as a believer in Yeshua? What has he given you authority to do that you're not taking advantage of? And that may not just be miracles like we see in Matthew 10:1. Has he given you the authority to have peace through difficult times? Has he given you the authority to have discernment through confusion? Has he given you the authority to heal and deliver just like he did for the disciples? You know, the answer is yes to all of these. He has. That's what he's given to all of us as believers. So talk to him about the areas where you struggle with the authority that he's given you, because he wants to build you up. I know for me, personally, I know that I have plenty of room to grow in that first example that I shared about peace through difficulty. You know, it's easy to talk about having peace and being strengthened until there's some sort of trial in your life or circumstance where you can't see how it's going to end or resolve. Can we walk peacefully with the Father through those things? The answer is yes, and it's not on our own power, but based on the authority that he's given us to take hold of his peace. We can do that. We can. It's not only an initial choice, but it's a process of walking with him and believing him and being transformed by him as we do that. We can experience those things. We do have the authority as sons and daughters. I want to also remind you that today is Yom HaZikaron. It's Israeli Memorial Day, which remembers and honors all of Israel's fallen soldiers, also including Holocaust victims, and even including modern victims of anti-Semitic terrorism. So today is a day of remembrance for all of them that bravely gave their lives in service of their country and their people. So please pray today as you think about those things, or if you read about them, please pray for the Jewish people around the world that have been unfortunately defined in so many ways by the tragedies that they've experienced. Pray for deliverance. Pray that they would know that Messiah has come, that God's love for them is potent and strong and eternal, and that they can come to him, that the scales would be drawn from their eyes and that they would see him for who he is. Yeshua, our Messiah, God in the flesh, the one who loves, the one who has come. He is Emmanuel, God with us. So pray today in 2 days in a row, words on the tip of my tongue, in intercession. That's the word I'm thinking of. Pray in intercession for those that don't yet know Yeshua. Let the Lord burden your heart, and then give that burden right back to him, because the battle is his. We simply are conduits of that. We simply um, give it back to him in trust. And then we can do whatever we can do, whatever influence he has given us in our circle or our sphere of influence, to bring light where there is darkness. So pray and see how the Lord wants to use you today. All right, shalom. We'll see you tomorrow.